Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2026-27 Budget Press Conference on initiatives under the ITIB. On the stage, we have Professor Sun Dong, Secretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry, Mr. Calvin Choi, Permanent Secretary for ITI, Mr. Ivan Lee, Commissioner for Innovation and Technology, Mr. Daniel Zhang, Acting Commissioner for Digital Policy, and Dr. Ge Ming, Commissioner for Industry, Innovation and Technology. We will first hear from Professor Sun Dong, and then we will open the floor for questions. Professor Sun Dong, please. Let's have a protocol first. Good afternoon, members of the public, media friends. Today is the 10th day of the Year of the Horse. I wish all Hong Kongers a good life, and that our economy gallops like the horse. This year's budget continues to tie in with the direction in the blueprints for INT development. We will use INT as the growth engine to promote new quality productive forces developments. I will highlight several measures. On enhancing the innovation and technology ecosystem, a main measure in the budget is to develop AI+. Over the past year, we have enhanced the ecosystem for AI and have laid the foundation for industries for AI and AI for industries. Under Inno Hong Kong, 16 laboratories have been established. The $3 billion AI subsidy scheme has been launched. The Hong Kong Artificial Intelligence Research and Development Institute will come into operation in the second half of this year to support AI R&D and transformation of research outcome, and advise on the governance framework and regulatory regime for AI development. At present, our overall computing power has reached 5,000 petaflops. For the data facility cluster at Sandy Ridge, it will significantly enhance our computing capacity. The tender results will be announced shortly. To promote the development of AI+, from top down, the Committee on AI Plus and Industry Development Strategy will be established and chaired by the Financial Secretary to formulate strategies on developing life and health industries and AI. $100 million will be allocated to empower the transformation of public services through AI. We will also pursue the direction of AI training for all. We will allocate $50 million to invite public organizations to collaborate with tertiary industries and tertiary institutions to provide training for the public on AI. The new Life and Health Technology Research Institutes will pursue the 1+3 model involving the headquarters of the laboratory to be set up in the Hong Kong Park and the 3 branches to be established by universities. Under Inno Hong Kong, there are already 16 related R&D centers. Under the RAISE Plus scheme, that is Research, Academic and Industry Sectors 1+ scheme, 15 projects have been given support. And in the 3 major R&D parks, we already have 500 enterprises and organizations. The ecosystem is thriving. In terms of new industrialization, the new industrialization funding scheme has supported over 120 new smart production lines, drawing over $1 billion in private investment. The New Industrialization Acceleration Scheme, or NIAS, has announced its support for 4 projects involving an investment amount of $2.5 billion. Among them, more than 70% is private investment. In the next half of the year, we will lower the threshold of eligibility from $300 million to $200 million so as to benefit more enterprises. Within this year, we will also launch the New Industrialization Elite Enterprises Nurturing Scheme to provide targeted support for high-growth enterprises contributing to the development of new industrialization in Hong Kong. They will become the leading enterprises in our industry. The budget also earmarked about $220 million to establish the first national manufacturing innovation center outside the mainland in Hong Kong. The two third-generation semiconductor chips R&D and trial production line under the Hong Kong Microelectronics Research and Development Institute will commence operation this year. And two enterprises have received support from the NIAS to develop semiconductor chip technology and equipment with total investments of over $1.5 billion. We will conduct a study on the medium to long-term developments of new industrialization in Hong Kong, and we will consult the relevant panels in electrical on the measures. Now, on the emerging industries, in terms of aerospace, the Hong Kong Space Robotics and Energy Center under Inno Hong Kong will take part in the Chang'e 8 mission of the country. Its multi-functional lunar surface operation robot has entered the spacecraft's prototype testing phase. The Innovation Technology Commission has supported several emerging projects. That includes the TMHK Sat-1 satellites developed by the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and also the first low Earth orbit satellites developed by a local enterprise. On new materials, we will expedite the developments of the third Inno Hong Kong research cluster to focus on sustainable development, energy, and advanced manufacturing materials. Now, embodied AI represents a new racing track which combine both AI and robotic technologies. Now, we will allocate more resources to support the development of embodied AI technology to develop in Hong Kong. And to align with the country's strategy to develop quantum technology, we will allocate resources to support the development of quantum technology. Last year, we have established 2 state key laboratories relevant to quantum technology. Under Inno Hong Kong, we have also established the Hong Kong Quantum AI Testing Center. Now, we will pursue comprehensive growth of industries in the up, middle, and lower stream. We will also review our tax arrangements for R&D expenditures. At the medium level, the Raise Plus schemes has already supported 49 projects with $10 billion investments. Under the Innovation Technology Industry-Oriented Fund, we have already received 40 applications, and we are now reviewing the applications, and we will disperse the fund within the year. On integrating with the overall developments of the country, the Hetao Hong Kong Park has officially commissioned in December last year. The first 3 buildings in Phase 1 development have been completed. The remaining 5 will be delivered by the end of this year. And also, several overseas enterprises have already entered the park. The vacancy rate is only 20%. Now, we are now conducting a market sounding exercise through the park company. The response of the market is favorable. We believe that we can deliver the remaining part of Phase 1 in the end of this year. And this year, we will apply with the electrical to inject $10 billion as initial capital into the park company to accelerate the development of the remaining parts of Phase 1 and provide the necessary infrastructure while facilitating cross-boundary flow of innovative elements. Now, for the 17 Technopole, it is the strategic base of R&D development. The budget has announced that within the year, a dedicated company will be established, and $10 billion funding will be sought from electrical to take forward the development. Now, we are now formulating a phase-0 development plan according to the land sale timetable. Talents are necessary for developing R&D. So through STEM internship scheme, we provide 20,000 internship opportunities for students. Under the Research Talent Hub, we have already approved some 15,000 applications. The scheme targets STEM graduates to engage in research. To attract talents, the INNO Hong Kong has already attracted more than 3,000 researchers. The $3 billion Frontier Technology Research Support Scheme launched last year aims to align with the country's strategic plan for frontier technology development. We will continue to strive to promote the development of INT and develop new quality productive forces. We hope our work will be supported by all stakeholders so that we can make bigger strides. Thank you.
The floor is now open. Before you put your questions, please identify your media outlets and please limit yourself to no more than 2 questions. The male journalist in the 3rd row, please. Good afternoon. I'm from TMHK. I'd like to ask about the AI Plus and Industry Development Strategy Committee. You said that you will focus on embodied AI and life and health science. So what kind of industries are we talking about under life and health science? And what kind of products are we looking forward to? And regarding AI, how can we make use of it? It is said that the government wants to make use of AI to enhance their efficiency. So I wonder what kind of the bureaus and departments need AI to assist in their day-to-day work. There are some large language models that cannot be used in Hong Kong. When we want to achieve AI for all, can we introduce some more platforms to Hong Kong? Thank you for your question. This committee on AI Plus and Industry Development Strategy is led by the Financial Secretary. The ITIB will be the secretary or secretariat for the committee. You said, or you asked what areas we will focus on under life and health science. Well, we have great advantages in many different fields. Say, for example, treatment, diagnostic, and in therapies for elderly, we have achieved some great breakthrough. So we hope to continue to be the leader in terms of geotechnology and some other aspects. On development of industry, first of all, we have to leverage on our unique advantages, while at the same time we have to introduce foreign enterprises so that we can enter in some overseas market. Currently, we want to focus on advanced therapy and treatment, say, for example, cell therapy. When we have top-notch scientists that will facilitate our work in this area. Second, our healthcare equipment, our surgery robotics. These are the products that we are looking forward to. Regarding RAPES Plus, 15 projects under it are under the field of life and health science. They are rolling out products. So these are the areas that we want to achieve breakthrough in. On AI, the government is promoting the development of a digital and smart government. In last year's policy address, it was announced that we were going to establish this AI efficacy enhancement team. We will roll out several AI flagship projects. By adopting AI, we want to transform our government departments and enhance their efficiency. As for the large models that you talked about, currently, only China and US can develop real large AI models. So we're not lacking in this area. Last December, we rolled out the Hong Kong Chat large language model. In 2 months' time, we recorded some 700,000 users. I'm not sure if you've installed it. You can ask the Hong Kong chat about the budget or the policy address. Let's see if the chatbot can respond to your questions to your satisfaction. We will continue to develop collaboration and scientific cooperation with other advanced economies in the world. Thank you. Next question, please. The male journalist in the third row, please. Good afternoon. I'm from Dot News. You said that you will establish the Hong Kong Artificial Intelligence Research and Development Institute. What industries are you going to work with? We have many top-notch enterprises in Shenzhen. Will you work with them? Second, I'd like to ask about AI. Many enterprises, governments want to introduce AI. So I wonder if traditional roles or jobs will be replaced. Thank you. Thank you for your question. On the AI Research and Development Institute, we are just starting to prepare for it. We will announce the list of directors in due course within this year. Before we have the board of directors, we will start working on recruiting CEO of the institute from all over the world. As for the work plan of the institute, well, we have explained it to the Legislative Council last year. The institute is to promote the development of R&D, and we want to empower different industries and sectors through AI. The institute will advise on the governance framework, and it will also be responsible for nurturing talents. The Digital Policy Office will announce more details in due course. Regarding the opportunities and risks brought about by AI for all, as I said, AI is not just a technology, it's an era. Whoever owns the technology owns the future. Through our efforts in the past few years, we have achieved some success in R&D, talents, our computing power. I think that our efforts have borne fruits. The challenge that we have is to make sure that everyone in Hong Kong grabs the opportunities brought about by AI. That's why we propose this idea of AI for all. We're going to dedicate $50 million to promote education of AI. This is just our starting point. Currently, we have accumulated some experience. Say, for example, in the past 2 years, the DPO, Digital Policy Office, has developed a program that helps elderly people learn information technology. Through the park company, through NGO, public organizations, we want to nurture talents and enterprises. We are going to organize courses, programs, talks, seminars, competitions, so that everyone in Hong Kong can learn more about AI. We want to popularize it. Through these activities, we hope that people recognize the importance of AI. Thank you.
Next question, please. The gentleman in white on the second row. Good afternoon. I'm from Ming Pao Daily. Some questions for the Secretary. Now, the budget mentioned that it would review the tax concession arrangements for R&D expenditure. So what is the progress so far, and what are the directions? Now, about the manufacturing innovation center of the country, there are some 30 such centers in the mainland, and Hong Kong's National Manufacturing Innovation Center will be the first. So why are we having this arrangement? What will be the difference between our Manufacturing Innovation Center and those in the mainland? Will there be collaboration? Now, the thematic project shall be semiconductors. Why, and who are we serving? The last question is on the $10 billion allocated to develop Hetao and Santee Technopole. So for the Hetao Hong Kong Park, there are already 22 land parcels which have to be developed with market involvement. So how much public funds will we spend on developing the Hetao land parcels? I believe the ratio would be small. So how can we attract more market investments? And what about the Santee Technopole? Thank you. Concerning the $10 billion allocated to Santee and Hetao, that is a very crucial question. I would defer to my colleague. The second question, I would defer to Dr. Ge Ming, the Commissioner for Industry and Technology. Thank you for your questions, and thank you, Professor Sun Dong. In the budget, the Financial Secretary has earmarked $10 billion specifically into Hetao and for developing a park company for Santee Technopole, which will lead the development in Santee. The two injections of $10 billion serve the same goal. That is to give the market a boost of confidence and shows the government's determination to develop the two areas. Now, it echoes what the reporter has just said. The government's funds will be a leverage for attracting private investments in Santee Technopole and the Hetao Park, and also for establishing an ecosystem to support startups. With a comprehensive ecosystem, we can bring about job opportunities and real contribution to the economy. Now, the reporter is right. By the end of last year, when the Hetao Park was commissioned, 3 laboratories or 3 buildings have been commissioned, and there are already some 60 enterprises moving in. And there are 5 buildings being completed soon. And we are going to put those spaces for lease. Now, those buildings were developed wholly by the government. That would mean we can construct the buildings faster, but to ensure that there are sufficient contribution from the market, we have to move away from that approach. So for the remaining sites in Phase 1, we have already conducted an expression of interest exercise. As we have explained, we have received EOIs from different companies already. So for the first injection of $10 billion into Hetao, the funds may be used to establish subsidiaries through the park companies. But we are still studying about the specifics. Later on, when we seek funding approval from the electrical, we will table the detailed plan for that. Now, according to the EOI, many potential investors think that they would need to see upfront investments from the government for them to have confidence to invest in the park. So the $10 billion are very important, but we will reserve some flexibility for the park company to work on that. I am the chairman of the park company, so I will be responsible for the use of that fund to ensure that there is sufficient market involvement. Now, as the Hong Kong Science and Technology Park, as well as the cyberport, we have learned that to make the parks a success, we need to have supporting programs like incubation programs or startup support programs to ensure that there are smaller players in the park for healthy growth of the ecosystem. So part of the $10 billion will be used for supporting startups. In the initial period, the park company may not be able to break even, so part of the money will be used to support the operation of the park company. So that's the use for the $10 billion injected into the Hetao Hong Kong Park. For the Santine Technopole, by the end of last year, we have promulgated the development outline plan for the Santine Technopole. And we agree that we need to expedite on the establishment of the park company. Now, the Santine Technopole is a natural extension of the Hetao area. So some larger companies with insufficient space in Hetao may extend their footprint to Santine Technopole. So within the $10 billion for the Santine Technopole, we will set aside a proportion for injection into the park company. Now, earlier on, we have invited the Hong Kong Science and Technology Park to make plans for the Santine Technopole, and there is also a program called InnoPole. Under the InnoPole projects, there are buildings for common use. So just like Hetao, the government will take the lead in constructing some of the buildings under InnoPole. But we will also take forward the projects through public-private partnership for expeditious development of the Santine Technopole. There will also be incubation programs requiring some funding. So that's the use of the two injections of $10 billion.
Thank you, Permanent Secretary. Regarding the second question, I would like to ask Dr. Ge to take it. Thank you. I will answer in Putonghua. I don't want to mislead anyone. I think you've done your homework. The National Manufacturing Innovation Center is a center that offers advanced technology and the company to address technological challenges and to promote the transformation and upgrade of an industry. It is a platform to serve these purposes. As you said, there are altogether 33 National Manufacturing Innovation Centers on the mainland. Each of the centers targets different areas. As to why we need to establish our own center, the reasons are threefold. First, as you all know, our R&D capabilities is an invaluable resources for our country's development. And it is the trend of our national development. Our country is going for technological self-reliance. Second, we also need to develop industrialization in Hong Kong. That's why we need this center. We are developing self-developed semiconductors, and we are planning for creating an ecosystem industry for that. That's why when we talk to our country's authorities in discussion, they supported the establishment of our first National Manufacturing Innovation Center. Our center has to be unique enough to serve its purpose. We have the Hong Kong Microelectronic Research and Development Institute. We have visited many institutes. We have talked to many experts, including ones from the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. That's how we confirmed the establishment of the center in Hong Kong. Our center will focus on the application of semiconductors. We focus on capabilities and high conductivities. We will also address technical problems. We will work on materials, systems, mold to serve the aerospace, smart power, advanced equipment, manufacturing, innovation, information, so on and so forth. At the same time, we have a unique advantage. We have the strong support of our country, and we are well connected to the rest of the world. So this is our unique edge. So I hope that you will pay attention to our development. Thank you. Thank you for Raymond's question on the tax arrangement. The government has all along supported enterprises in dedicating resources into development as well as R&D. That's why in 2017 we have amended legislation to introduce a tax concession and deductions for R&D expenditure. Eligible R&D expenditure will be eligible for 300 to 200% tax deductions. This is to encourage R&D activities in Hong Kong. So this kind of so-called super tax deduction arrangement is implemented to promote the development of R&D. According to the IRD data, every year we are receiving more and more applications for tax deductions on eligible R&D activities. When certain conditions are met, enterprises can apply for 100% tax deductions for some other R&D activities. As we are integrating into the country and working more closely with the Greater Bay Area, there will perhaps be more and more opportunities for collaboration on R&D. We will therefore look into whether there is any room for us to further improve our tax arrangements. Our ultimate goal is to encourage private enterprises to dedicate more resources on R&D activities. Thank you. The journalist in the third row, please. Good afternoon. I'm from Singtao. I'd like to ask about tax arrangement. Singapore also have some AI policies. Their tax deductions is as high as 400%. Just now, the commissioner said that our maximum tax deduction is only 300%. You said Singapore is going to dedicate $1 billion on AI development in the upcoming 10 years. So are we lagging behind Singapore? In Hong Kong, we tend to be more practical and pragmatic. We want to achieve value for money. Over the past few years, we have done much on AI. Now we have our own AI large language model. We have a very clear AI development strategy. We didn't have great infrastructures in the past. However, in a short 2 years' time, our industry park have over 1,000 AI enterprises. Many listed companies in Hong Kong are AI related. We have a clear data policy. We want to develop an international data hub. We have a great pool of talents. Currently, 5 of our universities are top 50 in the world in terms of AI, and 3 are in top 20. Our speed of development is rapid. Over the past 2 years, we already have 5,220 startups. Many of them are AI related. We have built many Inno Hong Kong laboratories. Under Inno Hong Kong, 16 laboratories are about robotics and AI. More importantly, look at our infrastructures. In the past 2 years' time, we went from 0 to 5,000 petaflops in terms of computing power. Very soon, we're going to invite tender for Sandy Ridge data center. After that, our computing power will be increased even more significantly. We will not stop here. We want to become a regional computing hub. We hope that AI will become one of our key industries. From the perspective of the SAR government, we are of the view that we have achieved some great results, although we are not promoting it as often. So overall speaking, I think that on product application, commercialization of AI, talent nurturing, number of enterprises, we are lagging behind the mainland. So I hope that we can implement this AI for all soon, and hopefully we can have more AI enterprises. However, we are a part of our country, and our country has developed so many AI and robots. No economies are like Hong Kong. By having our country helping in our development. Thank you.
Next question, please. Any English question? The gentleman in the front.
For your sharing, just 2 questions on AI and also on aerospace. With a raft of measures on AI essentially covering all sectors in Hong Kong, it's a more general question on if there's an execution plan or timeline, and what would you prioritize given it really covers everything? And how would you really measure the success or effectiveness of these AI plus measures? On aerospace, with the goal to develop aerospace industry in Hong Kong, what is the planned timeline? And again, what would you prioritize? Any incentives? What are the incentives to attract these firms, and whether you have any in talks already? Thank you.
Well, thank you for your question. You may notice that in the budget this year, AI or AI plus has so much space. Okay, our financial secretary has spent so many words to describe how to develop AI and AI plus. So first of all, I think the very, very important strategy is to establish a committee on AI plus and industry development strategy. This is a very, very important high-level committee aiming to formulate strategies and create favorable conditions for AI to empower the transformation and development of industry. Another one, how to empower industry through AI is big issues. Okay, Look at the past. Actually, Hong Kong SAR government has done a lot of work. For example, Hong Kong Research Cluster has so far funded 16 laboratories specializing in AI and robotics technologies. We have launched the 3 billion AI subsidy scheme 2 years ago, more than one year ago, to support the local industry, universities, and research laboratory to utilize government support to use our supercomputing center in Cyberport. Okay. We are in the progress of establishing Hong Kong Artificial Intelligence Research and Development Institute. The institute will come into operation within this year. This is a very, very important platform for AI research, development, as well as empower industry for Hong Kong in the future. Okay. So, and saying again about the computing infrastructure, by the end of last year, the Hong Kong overall computing power has reached 5,000 petaflops, laying important foundation for AI development. Okay, so we are going to announce the tendering results for International Data Park at the Sandy Ridge very, very soon. Okay, with this important park, the overall computing scale in Hong Kong will be significantly increased. Okay. Regarding how to empower public service through AI, you may know the government has established the AI efficiency enhancement team led by the Deputy Chief Secretary for Administrations. Okay. So this committee will coordinate and steer the government department to apply AI technology effectively to their work, explore some process re-engineering, and promote technological reform in the departments. Okay. And as what I said is all up for the priority. Everything. Because when we talk about the AI, you cannot just, we talk about AI research, we talk about the infrastructure. We have to do it together. Actually, that is what we have done in the past 3 years. Okay. Everything is very important. Okay. For the aerospace study, maybe now I invite the ITC Commissioner to briefly introduce aerospace study. Okay.
Thank you. Now, we've been supporting R&D in different technology areas, including those related to aerospace, all along under the umbrella of the Innovation and Technology Fund. Now, to give you an example, as the Secretary had mentioned in his opening remark, the recently launched CUHK Z1 satellite was actually supported by the Innovation and Technology Fund a few years ago. Now, in the past few years, we have enhanced our support for aerospace-related R&D. Under the Inno Hong Kong platform, we have supported R&D center under the leadership of Hong Kong UST, and also with the participation of 5 other Hong Kong universities. This R&D center will participate in the Chang'e 8 mission. It's a multifunctional lunar surface operation robot will be utilized in this very important space-related project. Also, in the last 2 years, we have launched a special call under the Innovation and Technology Support Program. And under this call, we have actually supported 6 different projects submitted by our universities with a funding commitment of over $100 million. So we will continue our work in this regard and continue to support those high-quality R&D projects. Thank you.
Time is running short. We will take 2 last questions. The gentleman on the right. Good afternoon. I'm from Hong Kong Economic Times. On AI, the budget has earmarked significant resources in terms of money and land for developing INT, but there is a lack of hardware. So what about hardware? Will the government improve our hardware for developing INT? Now, $50 million will be allocated for pursuing AI for all. But like other reporters mentioned, we don't see a lot of details on this initiative? And how can we ensure that the older generations are not left out? The focus seems to be on the younger generation and students. Thank you for your questions. The question is about the lack of software for developing AI. Now, over the past 3 years' budget and policy addresses, we have also mentioned AI development. For instance, we have allocated $1 billion to develop the Hong Kong AI Research and Development Institute. The work is in progress now. And also, many funding projects have listed AI as their focus. Many of our projects have pursued AI and robotics as the important direction. Now, having laid the direction several years ago, we are now looking to get real results. So that's why we are expediting our progress. Now, $100 million have been allocated to support the digitalization of government services. It takes time and space to develop AI. So that's where the Northern Metropolis come in. The Northern Metropolis will be an important platform for developing AI+, whether it is the He Hong Kong Park or the Centennial Bowl. AI is the keyword for everything. So you have to take a macro perspective in viewing the progress over a span of several years. Concerning AI for all, as I said, this is the first time we have mentioned this concept. Since the development of AI has been so rapid, we have to ensure that everyone are equipped with the basic knowledge of AI. We have already made preparation to train up the public for AI.
Next question. This lady over the left, please. Secretary, good afternoon. I'm from Phoenix TV. On low-altitude economy, I have some questions. It is said that we are going to, well, low-altitude economy is not under our purview. Isn't that about INT? Because I see that we're going to focus on the R&D of low-altitude economy in the Northern Metropolis. Say, for example, enterprises that need land. So for targeted industries, have you talked to them, asking them to establish presence in the Northern Metropolis? Thank you. In the budget, in terms of future industries, we have highlighted aerospace, embodied AI, low-altitude economy, quantum technology, so on and so forth. The policy bureaus will talk to different industries. They will roll out many different policies, say, for example, low-altitude economy sandbox. Many sandboxes will be implemented in different parks, including the Hong Kong Productivity Council, Astri, Science Park, Cyberport, as such. We will pilot low-altitude economy in the Northern Metropolis. 2 years ago, we rolled out the He outline plan, and we proposed using low-altitude aircraft for cross-boundary transport and delivery. So the ITIB, the parks, the industry parks, and the DPO will fully support the development of the low-altitude economy. As our policies on this area mature, we will be able to support the relevant industries. So I believe that the ITIB will play a bigger role in this in the future. Thank you. Any more questions? The gentleman in the third row, please. Good afternoon. I'm from RTHK. I'd like to ask about Shanghai Technopole and Hetao, the loop. You said that you want to instill confidence of it in the market. So what is the return on investment? So how significant is the multiplier effect? Second, on Hetao, you said that you want to promote a cross-boundary flow of elements. What challenges are we facing? Thank you. The Permanent Secretary will take the question. Thank you. We do want to achieve a multiplier effect. Let me give you some examples. We estimate that every year we should be able to generate $50 to $90 billion of economic benefits as Hetao is fully completed. We are only injecting some $10 billion. How can we achieve such a multiplier effect, you may ask? We don't just rely on the government investment. We also want to attract investment from the private sector. The Financial Secretary gave us many tools. We are not just injecting money. We don't just have land. On top of that, we have policy package. We may also be able to offer tax concessions for targeted enterprises and industries. These are the things that we can apply to in the Shanghai Technopole and the Northern Metropolis. So as long as we can introduce top-notch enterprises in the Hetao zone, we will be able to achieve the intended multiplier effect. It's hard for me to give you some exact figures as of right now, but given only the 3 buildings we have in Hetao, we are already able to lease all the offices out. We receive great response from the market. Under the Hong Kong Investment Corporation, we have many successful investments, so we are not worried. So it's very important that we adopt this infrastructure-led approach. We want to build all the facilities first, and we are now working with the Shenzhen side of the Hetao Cooperation Zone. Second, together with mainland authorities, the Shenzhen municipal government, we have agreed on a direction. However, as we're just starting out with the Hetao Corporation Zone Hong Kong Park, and many offices are under renovation. On cross-boundary flow of people, on biosamples, on data, talents, we have set aside capital for Hong Kong Park Company to build a warehouse or storage for biosamples. Different enterprises may have different demand. We want to establish the use cases first. So that we can explain to the market how biosamples, how data and goods can flow between Hong Kong and Shenzhen. I believe that when the Western Bridge is completed, the flow of different elements will become even more convenient. Now it's already very convenient for me to go to Pak Shek Kot. When the first #1 channel is opened, it will even be more convenient for me to reach there. I think that is more important for us to establish use cases so that we can implement projects. I'd like to supplement. There is some discussion on the Northern Metropolis, Hetao, and Santin Technopole. After the budget's been announced, I think that this is the most difficult time because there's nothing in the Northern Metropolis. That's why we have to make significant investment. In 2021, the government proposed the injection of some $10 billion to build the first phase. Now we are on to the second phase. We proposed this idea of public-private partnership on Santin Technopole. The government cannot shoulder it all. Our budget is tight. However, the government must make certain investment. So we are working with the private sector to build the second phase. When the first few buildings are commissioned, when people see vibrancy in the Northern Metropolis, I believe that the market will become more confident in it. Perhaps in the third or fourth phase, the government will only have to roll out favorable policies when the private sector will actively invest in the metropolis. So this is the time for us to invest. So hopefully in the near future, we will have some successful cases of investment to show the industry and the market so that they will be confident in it. Very soon, we're going to invite tender for the data center in Sandy Ridge. That's all for the press conference today. Thank you.
多謝。
testing。2026年2月26日演講廳錄音測試，OK。